Remind me to check.
Here's something that just happened a year or two ago. Rumor has it that Walmart wrote the check and Rock Solid did the build at Horseshoe Canyon Ranch, which is famous for the rock climbing, but now it's famous for mountain biking. You go there, you pay your $14, sign this mega waiver, and you're off on some of the wildest rock-infested trail ever. This one is Honey Badger, a blue trail, which we got to off of a green one. And yeah, you're saying that doesn't look blue. In some states that'd be black, and they know it, ma'am. That just gives them room to call even the harder trail black. But Honey Badger here has some really crazy rock work and use of the natural features, as you'll see. That's Jeff up there, and along the way you run into these rock climbers because there are like 900 rock routes. There's a book you can buy in the lodge there to tell you about 900 rock routes. They'll be out there with their pads and their robes and the backboards and
see that
hanging, spider monkeying all over the place.
Ooh, look at that.
Honey Badger, and just a few surprises on the Honey Badger. You don't find in a heck of a lot of mountain bike trails, and along the way you go under the biggest zip line in Arkansas, which is like half a mile long and 200 feet up and 50 miles an hour, and caves you can ride your bike through right there, and kind of a funky flow if you're into rocks. This place has got it because it's a rock climbing mecca, so there's going to be rocks and a little exposure. Again, this is a blue trail for them, which I know would be black in Wisconsin, Minnesota. Kind of matches the Ishpeming rating system. Down below there's nice lodge and cabins and campground and llamas and goats and cows and all the nice farm animals except for bunnies and chickens. And there's a lot going on there. And of course this neck of the woods is the mountains of Arkansas between Jasper and Ponca, where there are just tons of hikes that are famous, and you can't throw a stick without hitting a waterfall or a cliff around there. Not too far from Upper Buffalo headwaters and Epic either. And some funky stuff on a rock that you're not going to find everywhere. So you got to keep your head down a little bit. And as you know, if there's a candy line and a crisp line, you're better off taking the candy line. But no harm done. It works out in the end. Now we took Honey Badger back near the trailhead and the cabins and stuff, and took another green line, which would be blue in Wisconsin, and then a blue line, which would be maybe blue-black, and got to the middle downhill hub. This is the green one. Its name I can't recall. I sped this up because it is a really long downhill. So the green part, called Bucking Around, starts out with a lot of that flow and little gap stuff, runs into the blue one, Electric Cowboy, that we're on right now. And kind of some safe gaps there. Once you figure out what the heck is going on with this trail, this is the first run down, so we're just figuring it out. This trail is only like a year or two old, so the berms are still pretty primo. And they do have crews, doing maintenance. They were doing maintenance the day we were out there, making sure everything is good and survives the rain and the spring and all the crazy stuff that happens. Now, Electric Cowboy can quit there, or you can jump into Horse Thief, which is kind of a rock-based, wood-based thing that gets even funkier. Definitely blue or black or pure black, depending on what state you're in. But Horse Thief was a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, look on that one.
There is a full black trail with a big old rock slab we saw but didn't ride, called Safety Meeting, and those two come to the lower hub. They were getting into in a little bit. Which had a beautiful view of the creek, and canyon keeps on going into probably a wilderness area where all the hiking trails and waterfalls and cliffs are. And left or right, but you want to go left, you got a blue climb back to the middle hub.
Wow.
And the lower hub. The climb is called Canyon Crawl, and it's a long climb, but it gives you a beautiful view of the valley, like you get right here, kind of on the edge on that switchback. And you take another blue trail called Bone Tree, and then Cody Monster, and you're at the upper hub. Right now we're on the Enduro Hub connector, a little connector between those two blues and their Enduro Hub, carved out of the rock. And instead of a jump line, these are kind of trunk Enduro lines. And we found a feller from Fayetteville who had done Severance Package and wanted to try paper route for the first time. And here we go down the paper route, which is blue on their rating scale.
Better than the other one so far.
But,
all right.
And maybe on the Fayetteville scale, but in Wisconsin this would be black. In Ishpeming, probably blue. But it's got some tight stuff, some rock chunk, and if you're into that, it is a heck of a trail. So you know what's over that lip there. Nothing on the blue trails was a gap with dangerous consequences. You gotta be good at picking your line kind of quick, and if you go a little quick, the things kind of smooth out for you. The trees don't get out of your way. So it is a great wild part of the Ozarks, off the beaten path, out of the big city. And if it rains, you go to Buffalo National Riverway and rent a canoe. Grand Canyon of the Arkansas is around there. A lot of fun stuff to do here, and a lot of cool outdoorsy people doing outdoorsy things all around Jasper. There's a little taste of what it looks like at Horseshoe Canyon Ranch. And we're back to the